Alright, I thought I'd come on here and make a video and wanted to talk about the third seal. And I was recently watching Jason's latest video. They were talking about the universal basic income, which is very interesting. I've been thinking this myself, that they're going to give everybody everything they've ever wanted. Really what people want is relief. Relief from their finances, relief from the stress of children, the relief from the stress of daily work. Just the relief of knowing that everything's going to be okay. And actually mean, when you say that, it actually means something. If they bring a system, let's say by 2028 they start introducing a system where you can make more money staying at home than you would actually working. Now, like Jason was saying, some people are comfortable with just still working because some people will be making more money than what that system could offer them. So obviously they wouldn't want it. But eventually, everybody would probably join that system because AI would basically control the jobs. You wouldn't need to really worry about making money anymore. Even people that are making millions a day don't really have to stress about that anymore. Unless that's really what they want. They want to just keep making more and more money because, you know, that's all they know. It's just kind of like an old man that hasn't known anything but work all his life, like a mechanic that works till he's 75 or till he crooks over. He don't know anything but work every day. Some people are going to choose to want to work because that's all they've ever known. They've been brainwashed into thinking that you're lazy if you make YouTube videos and make money off of it. If you're a content creator and you do things like videos where you're helping other people, or Pokemon cards, or video games, or anything, if they bring a system that will spiritually put people to sleep, like Jason was saying, and I see many others can agree with this, it's going to be so deceptive because we've been so long in our misery of having to work for money. It's so miserable to have to do that when you don't want to. If you had the choice to not, if you got paid more to stay in bed, you would take that choice. They might pay you to stay in bed more than they would to get up out of bed that morning. Tell me a construction guy that drinks every day, spends half his check on alcohol, ain't gonna love that kind of system because he can just go buy his beer and not have to work for it. Now, I understand the system might set it up to where you can't buy certain things with those credits, but I doubt that they would do that to people because they want people to be drunk and sitting at home doing nothing. They want, because it's way easier to process you. The simulation itself, it would be easier on the simulation if you just sat at home and did nothing and just watched TV, because there wouldn't be much processing power. It wouldn't take a lot of process. You wouldn't be going anywhere where it would have to render the world, where it would have to render other people and other vehicles and other jobs and buildings, just like we're on this drive now. I think it's really interesting to think about in a big discussion. You know, definitely leave a like and a comment. We can talk about it. People getting money for free. And how people would love. Imagine if they said, well, you got to move to this city if you want all that freedom. You know, they move you into a city where they give you housing, they give you food, all the shops, like Jason said, you don't pay for anything. You just walk by it and your cell phone just takes it off. kind of like the, you know, the metal scanners in any theme park or even in Walmart, you know, people stealing stuff. You wouldn't have to worry about that anymore, because people wouldn't be operating in a cash kind of thing, or people would automatically be taken out of there. They wouldn't have a choice. You see what I'm saying? They wouldn't get to decide how much they want to pay. It would just take out what it wants in their credits. But at the same time, what a relief on people too, because they can just walk in somewhere and, you know, they know that they've got the money. They don't have to worry about if they're gonna have enough hours that week to pay for groceries next week. You know, some people are working hourly, and if they only work 20 hours that week, then they have to depend on that 20-hour check. You know, this whole living week to week would go away for a lot of people. And who wouldn't, like Jason said, with children, not want to take that deal, and people with elderly not take that deal, where they can not stress about bills and enjoy their life, and talk about people, probably their health would get better, because people with the stress off of people would get better. But anyways, leave a like and comment. We can talk about it more. But if this does really happen, you better believe that it's going to bring a deception in a spiritual type of way, because people aren't going to care anymore. I mean, people care now because they have to. But imagine when they don't have to care anymore. When they can just, where robots can do everything for us. But I think it's the same thing with that discussion that you have to talk about is, you know, how good a quality of stuff we will actually get out of robots. Will things be perfect, or will they break, or will it be cheap stuff being made, or will it be better stuff being made, you know? But at the same time, the whole plan is just to put people to sleep until, you know, we're talking about 2040 and a magnetic pole shift, a binary star system coming 2046 and making its exit later. So it's not like they are going to do this long term. Like, even if it's universal basic income for just a little short time, the elite know that. Like, they don't care. They'll give people as many credits as they want and give people food, and as long as they just make them comfortable so the elite can get underground safely. And talk about data centers. I mean, obviously, to run a financial system like that, you would need data to process all those people all the time, keep up with their finances, keep up with tracking where they're going, keep up with what they're paying for, keep up with how many people they have in their family, keep up with if they live in a certain housing, keep up with, you know, basically the structure of their bills just being paid automatically, where they don't even have to worry about it because the system just pays it for them. You know, imagine where you don't have to log on and pay your water bill anymore. You see what I'm saying? It just is done for you. But we'll discuss this some more in the comments. I might make another video on it later. But I think it's really interesting to think about a system where they really do put people to sleep by just giving them everything they want.